Today we are diving into a topic that I think every founder needs in their back pocket, especially in uncertain times, and that is having the CFO Playbook for recession-proofing your startup. Welcome to the CFO Edge, the podcast that helps founders and business owners make smarter financial decisions. I'm Carol, your host and fractional CFO, and I'm here to help you build a business that isn't just growing fast, but growing smart. Now I want to be clear. This isn't about fear. It's about foresight. Whether or not a full-blown recession happens, the best-run startups are already thinking, what do we need to do now to stay resilient later? Let's break it down the way I would walk a startup founder through it behind closed doors. The first start with shifting from growth at all costs to resilient growth. We are going to start with your mindset. In boom times, it's all about scaling fast, winning market share, going for the next raise. But when the economy cools, your focus has to evolve. Now it's about growing with intention. You can ask yourself, are we chasing the right kind of growth? Can we absorb a sudden dip in revenue or delay in funding? Resilient startups don't just survive downturns. They emerge stronger because they were ready. Next, we are going to build your financial shock absorbers. This is what I call your financial seatbelt. Start with your cash runway. How many months can you operate if revenue slows down? I often recommend aiming for at least 12 months of runway in uncertain markets if possible. That gives you options, and options are power. And then you can secure line of credits before you need them, build customer payments buffers, shorten receivables, renegotiate terms if needed, and also rethink your cost structure. Where are you lean? Where are you exposed? From your shock absorbers, then we move on to reevaluating your burn, your budget, and break-even point. 3 important B's. Your burn rate is one of your biggest levers. Look at your fixed versus variable costs and ask yourself, if revenue drops by 30%, what is our plan? Can we reduce spend without sacrificing our core product or customer experience? And remember, this isn't about slashing randomly. It's about making decisions, such as prioritizing or postponing hires, optimizing tools, and at the end, prioritizing return on investment-driven initiatives. Also, revisit your break-even point. How much revenue do you need to simply cover your operating expenses? Can you get closer to that during this season? If you have questions about your burn rate, make sure to go back to our previous episodes for a quick recap. The fourth on the list in the CFO Playbook is doubling down on core revenue drivers. In a downturn, you don't want to spread yourself thin. Get laser focused on the customers and offerings that bring in your strongest margin. So let me repeat that again because it's so important. We need to get laser focused on the customers and offerings that bring in your strongest margins. It's not the time to experiment widely. It's the time to ask what's working really well and how do we keep our existing customers happy and reduce churn. Think retention over acquisition and think value over volume. The CFO Playbook continues with keeping your team and investors in the loop. Your team wants clarity, not certainty, but clarity. Share the big picture, walk them through the plan, let them be part of the solution. And when it comes to investors, don't wait for bad news to reach out. Show them you're proactive and send them regular updates. Even if it's just about here's what we are seeing, here's what we are modeling, or here's what we are doing to stay ahead. That kind of communication builds trust. And in tough times, trust is everything. Make sure to go back to the previous episode, which is by far my most favorite episode that I have recorded. We talk about clarity and why financial transparency is startup superpower, something that doesn't show up on a spreadsheet. So, is there a magic formula to recession proofing your startup? Not exactly. But there is a mindset and a method. It's about building flexibility, knowing your numbers, and making decisions that serve your long term vision, not just the next few months. This episode is your reminder that a strategy is your greatest financial safety net. If you found this helpful, please subscribe, share it with a fellow founder, and leave a quick review. And don't forget, we will be doing deep dives like this every week to help you navigate growth with clarity and confidence. Thanks for listening to the CFO Edge, and I will talk to you next time.